Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Astral Tourist. Hopefully, the sound is okay. I am using a little tiny travel mic that I bought. For those who are new, I am currently traveling. Usually, the sound is better, but I got this little travel mic while I travel some here in May because, in addition to traveling astrally as a tourist, I also actually travel physically as a tourist once in a while. And right now, I am broadcasting live from Africa. So, astral projections. When I travel, I don't usually have that many, or they're not very clear, but I did have some, and they were just really little ones, so I'll go ahead and cover those. So, for a couple of nights before my significant other and I left on this trip, I had this whole astral projection where I was in a mall, which is not uncommon. There are so many astral malls. And then I began to dream over it a little bit. So I had mixed states of consciousness for this one. And so he was there too. I guess I was keeping an eye on him. And this vehicle, I'm not sure what kind of a vehicle because it was all kind of hazy, kind of clipped him and he fell over. People began running out to him and they pulled him over to the sidewalk. I was still a distance away. And, I put protection on us all the time for travel and stuff. And even though this was just astrally before we traveled, I sometimes will astral project into the future a bit. So all of this is going on in the astral, and usually also I'm keeping track of things before we go, just energy in general and stuff like that. I'm not sure how else to describe it right now because I'm still jet lagged. But I just, I keep an eye on things. And they dragged him over to the sidewalk, and I was a distance away. People were telepathing to me. They found my energy signal on him. And so I knew right where to go, even though it was blurry and everything still, because I did not have 100% lucidity. I got over there. People were wondering, should we call an ambulance? I was looking at him. I quickly realized I'm astral projecting. And I looked at him. His eyes were wide open, and he said, I don't need an ambulance. I'm okay. So the next day, when I actually woke up, I was wondering, is this some kind of premonition? What's going on here? Uh, and so he had already gone to work by the time I got up. And when he came back home, he had a swelling in his jaw. And he told me he'd already gone to the doctor. He got an antibiotic for it. And so we were still planning to go on this trip. And so obviously we did because here I am broadcasting from Africa. So this is an example of a kind of precognition where it's not exact. Your subconscious processes all of this information. He didn't actually get hit by a vehicle or a car, but there was something wrong with him. And that's what all of that was telling me before I even knew it, before he came back home with the swelling in his jaw. And the doctor doesn't know why it happened. He suspects some kind of lymph node something or other. But he's basically okay. It's been a few days now in the plane flight, and it's not all the way down. I'm encouraging him to go get a different antibiotic because we are in a place where the medical care here is decent. So I don't know if he'll do it or if he's just going to wait it out, but he's fine. He doesn't have a fever or anything. He really is fine, like he told me in the dream/astral projection. So for the next one, I was on the plane during this long flight. Oh my gosh. And I don't usually sleep on plane flights, but I did a little bit this time. And when I did, I was in yet another astral mall. And I remember I had made the intention to get out to the wing. I just wanted to just pop out for a minute onto the wing. I've never been able to do it because I hardly ever sleep on planes. And that didn't happen. I popped out into an astral mall again and again dreaming over it a little bit. I saw these spinning yellow flowers and spinning little pink flowers, just little tiny ones of both kinds. And yesterday, on a tour we were on, the tour guide specifically pointed out that this year in this region in Africa, the flowers are turning up yellow and pink. And I was just floored. I was like, oh, yeah, I was seeing those yellow and pink spinning flowers on the plane. Of course, I did not say that out loud. But yeah, so I think I'll have to call this episode Precognition in the Astral, but it's also about the mind, the subconscious mind gives us information, whether it's through dreams, lucid dreaming, the astral plane, some combination. There's always all of this information here for us, and it's important to take it with a grain of salt. It's not always super literal. Like I was saying, my significant other did not get hit by a vehicle, but he did have a problem with his health. So there's that to consider. Also, the tour guide said I asked where my accent was from. And so I told him, New York, upstate New York, actually. And he said, well, yeah, and my significant other is from there too, but we still sound different. And so I asked him, well, how do I sound different? And he said, I have a newscaster like voice. And he was trying to explain it. There was no way I was about to tell him that I have a secret podcast on astral projection. So I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, Let me see. I also did live in California for a while. So I don't think my entire accent is New York at all, or even like upstate Canadian. I've lived in some different places over the years, and I think I have a combination. But it was nice to hear that he was kind of picking up on the whole podcasting vibe there, even though he didn't know he was. That was really neat. So, anyway, love to all of you. Things are well. Hopefully, this will turn out okay. I apologize for the sound quality. It's just the little travel mic. But I was asked to give some shorter updates, at least in May here. So, that's what I'm doing. Happy astral travels, everyone.